I'll never forget seeing 3 police cruisers crawl up to my ranch gate that crisp October morning, their lights flashing like a twisted welcome parade. Deputies stepped out, hands hovering near their holsters, ready to handle what they'd been told was an active trespassing situation. Meanwhile, I stood firmly on my own land, the morning sun at my back, holding my property deed in one hand and my coffee mug in the other. The whole scene was so absurd I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. My name is Logan Carter, and I've owned Carter Ranch for 15 years. This land has been in my family for 3 generations, a wide, 40-acre stretch that my grandfather bought in 1955. My ranch sits right at the edge of what's now called Pine Crest Meadows, a luxury neighborhood that sprouted up about 8 years ago like mushrooms after rain. Developers have come knocking for years, waving massive checks, but I always turn them away. Too much family history lives in this soil to ever sell. The trouble started 3 months ago when Lydia Park became the new HOA president of Pine Crest Meadows. Lydia, or, as she demanded, President Park, was a former corporate auditor, and she ran the HOA like she was a queen with a clipboard. She was barely 5 feet tall, but wore sharp suits even on weekends and loved citing rules about everything. Garage door colors, flagpole angles, lawn lengths. Our first showdown happened on a random Tuesday morning. I'd parked my truck at the trailhead that connects the main road to my barn, a legal easement my family secured decades ago. But Lydia didn't care for legalities. She strutted up in stilettos, heels tapping like an angry typewriter. "Excuse me," she barked. "You cannot park here. This is community space." I wiped sweat from my brow and tried to be neighborly. "Morning, ma'am. I'm Logan Carter. This is my ranch access road." The HOA stops back by those stone markers. She glared at me through designer glasses. "I don't care who you are. We have strict rules about commercial vehicles. It's my personal truck, and this is my land." She scribbled something on her clipboard and slapped a bright orange warning sticker on my windshield like she'd done it 1,000 times. Over the next few weeks, her harassment escalated. Every time I parked there, a new sticker showed up. Orange, then yellow, then angry red. Fines climbed from $50 to $100 to $500. On my buddy Eric Navarro's advice, he's my lawyer, I saved every single sticker in a folder labeled harassment evidence. Then came the stakeouts. Lydia would literally stand by my driveway for hours, waiting to pounce. One afternoon, I found her blocking my truck like a furious chihuahua. "You need to stop this intimidation," she snapped. "Lydia, you're on my driveway right now. You're the only one intimidating anyone." Her face turned beet red. "This land belongs to Pine Crest. You're a squatter clinging to the past. Progress will happen whether you like it or not." "Progress?" I chuckled. "You mean bullying a legal owner? Move aside before I call the sheriff to arrest you for trespassing." She stormed aside but shouted as I drove past, "This isn't over. The HOA has resources you can't imagine." Things hit a boiling point on that October morning. I'd parked in my usual spot, ready to haul feed to the barn. 10 minutes later, I heard sirens. 3 cruisers turned down my dirt road. My stomach sank. The lead deputy approached cautiously, hand on his sidearm. "Sir, we got a 911 call about an armed trespasser." "Officer, I own this property," I said calmly, raising my hands. "Name's Logan Carter. My deed and easement papers are in my truck." He nodded. I slowly pulled out my folder, deed, easement, license, aerial maps. While he flipped through everything, I saw Lydia's shiny black BMW slide up behind the squad cars. She stepped out with a smug grin that could sour milk. "That's him, officers," she yelled. "The trespasser. He's been squatting on HOA land for months. Deputy Simmons, that's what his name tag read. Look from my papers to Lydia, then back to me. Ma'am, according to these documents, Mr. Carter owns this land. County records confirm it." Lydia's grin vanished. "No, he forged those. Check again." Simmons's tone iced over. "Ma'am, do you realize making a false 911 report is a crime?" "False? I'm the HOA president. I have full authority." "No, ma'am. The HOA ends at those stones." He pointed exactly where I'd shown her weeks ago. "You filed a false emergency report. Watching her panic was like seeing a collapsing house of cards. Simmons pulled her aside and drilled her with questions. Did she know it was private land? Yes, but she thought the HOA could override it. Had I ever threatened her? No, but my presence was intimidating. Had she checked the actual property lines? No, she didn't need to. Before they left, Lydia had a citation for abusing emergency services. But I wasn't done. That same day, Eric and I filed official complaints with the Sheriff's Department, County Board, and State HOA Commission. The bogus 911 call was just the tip of the iceberg. We documented every fake ticket, every trespass, every abuse of power. Word spread fast. Turns out I wasn't her only target. Ryan Adams down the street got fined $300 for grass half an inch too long. Sophie Morales got warnings because her kids' bikes were visible for 20 minutes. Even old Mr. Nguyen got harassed because his garden hose was the wrong color. The county board called a public hearing a month later. I showed up early with Eric, boxes of proof stacked neatly. Lydia strutted in with her nervous lawyer who looked ready to faint. The room was packed with residents, reporters, and county officials. Judge Emily Harper presided. She went through every shred of evidence: the fake 911 call, trespass complaints, harassment files. Then the bombshell dropped. The investigation found Lydia had pulled this same stunt at her old neighborhood in Brookfield Heights, where she'd been booted from the HOA for misconduct. Mrs. Park, Judge Harper said, her voice slicing through the chatter, "This board finds you grossly overstepped your authority. You harassed lawful owners, misused emergency services, and created a hostile community." Lydia jumped up, face red. "This is a conspiracy. They don't understand the standards I maintain." "Sit down, Mrs. Park," Harper snapped. "Here's this board's decision. First, you are permanently banned from stepping foot on Carter Ranch. A restraining order will be filed today. Second, you are removed as HOA president, effective immediately. Third, you are barred from serving on any HOA in this county for 10 years. The room erupted in cheers. Lydia's mouth flapped like a fish out of water. "You can't do this. I'll sue." Furthermore, Judge Harper said firmly over the noise, "You will pay Mr. Carter $5,000 for harassment and legal fees. Also, you face criminal charges for false reporting, up to 6 months in jail and a $10,000 fine." Lydia collapsed in her chair, pale and speechless. The self-proclaimed Queen of Pine Crest suddenly looked very small and very alone. I walked out of that room to a chorus of relieved neighbors shaking my hand. Carter Ranch remains standing, and no HOA tyrant will ever change that.